Hello, this is Thundra, and I want to welcome you to my channel. Today I want to speak about the concept of the eternal soul self and existing within the consciousness of heaven and hell. Just a quick reminder before we get started to please hit the subscribe button so you don't miss future valuable content. Thanks. Have you ever thought about living forever? What would you do? Where would you go? What would you learn? What would you accomplish in all of that time you have? I've thought a lot about this because this was an unusual concept I actually grew up with. In the religious cult I was raised in, they believed that God's original purpose was to populate the earth with humans who would live on for eternity and never physically die. Unlike most religions, they did not believe in an eternal soul that left the body at death and would transcend the earth plane and go on to experience heaven or hell after death. So a huge portion of emphasis was put on staying here in the physical body and never actually dealing with the concept of death. This had a great effect on me in somewhat of a negative way because it wasn't until my 30s that I actually stopped to think about the concept of death. And I had to come to terms with the fact that my family and myself would die one day. But this concept has also affected me in a different way that I'd like to talk about. I think most of you who are listening would agree that we are more than just our body, and we have something deep inside of us that transcends the barriers of the third dimensional world. That is an eternal part of ourself. Most would call this the soul. Many who have had near-death experiences report going somewhere and returning to the body to tell their story of that eternal part of themselves. Some people have also had these similar near-death experiences with the use of psychedelic drugs. And the common theme is that there is something within us that is eternal. Now, if you look at the many different mythologies from different cultures around the world, they all speak of other dimensions, and one of those I want to talk about right now is the underworld, which in the Norse mythology is known as hell. And I think it's important to meditate on this concept because as humans we move through different realms of consciousness or states of mind throughout our lifetime. And it's up to us to navigate our own trajectory in regards to this. What do I mean? So consider for a moment that there are many different timelines and parallel realities all taking place right now. There are literally endless possibilities that can manifest depending on our choices we make in the moment. So let's say you had a really bad car accident and you had to be hospitalized. You went through a long road to recovery and eventually your life returned to what you would consider normal. Have you ever considered that in a parallel universe you may have actually died? So who is to say that you didn't? The science of quantum physics proves that we exist in multiple realities and dimensions simultaneously, and it is up to us as the observer of reality to determine which one comes into manifestation. So think for a moment that maybe you did die in that car accident. Your family said goodbye and held a funeral while you were simultaneously shifting your journey and your trajectory into a different timeline where life continued on. Who is to say that hasn't happened multiple times to you already? And you as the observer with your eternal self just continues on in a different timeline completely seamlessly without memory of the experience. Now, if this is possible, where are you now? Are you existing in the consciousness of heaven? Or could you possibly be existing in the consciousness of hell? Because if heaven and hell are only your state of mind, then that really opens up the possibilities for us. Have you ever been depressed? Are you isolating yourself? Are you full of fear? Are you ruminating constantly on who did you wrong in the past? Are you a targeted individual? Are you being harassed by negative entities? If you are, chances are you already are in hell. You just don't know it. Did you ever see that movie, The Sixth Sense? That kid saw dead people. And what did he say? He said, "They don't know they're dead." So could your eternal self be living in such a low vibrational state of consciousness that you haven't even realized you're dead? Maybe we don't remember the actual experience of death in our body as we transcend to a parallel reality. And we just keep going on and on as if nothing happened because we don't remember dying. But our choices in every moment will determine whether we are living in the consciousness of heaven or of hell. The good thing about this is that it gives you control over what state of consciousness you do choose to exist in. You are not merely existing in this universe, being thrown to and fro, here and there, with no control over what's happening. With every choice you make, you command the universe to deliver the reality for you to experience. We do this unconsciously in every moment, which is why it is crucial to heal the unconscious mind if we want to move beyond our shitty life experiences and then create heaven on earth for ourselves. Victim mentality, blame, resentment, fear, and isolation, those will all ensure that we stay in hell. Taking responsibility, healing the unconscious, and connecting to our emotions will ensure that we dig ourselves out of that black hole of hell and move toward the consciousness of heaven. I say something at the end of all of my videos. I say, if you are not growing, you are dying. Stagnation kills the soul. Its purpose is to grow and learn and interact and experience life. And we have a beautiful opportunity here on this amazing planet to experience anything and everything we can possibly dream of. But if no one has taught you this, you may have grown up in the consciousness of hell, and you're totally unaware that there are better possibilities for yourself because you've never been taught how to experience that and move toward higher consciousness. And everything truly boils down to our state of mind. So I ask you, what do you choose? What universe do you want to create for yourself? Do you want to continue existing in your pain, fear, isolation, and depression? Or do you instinctually know you deserve something better and want to move toward love, joy, empathy, and sharing beautiful life experiences with others? The choice is really up to you. You are in control. And yes, if you have been existing in the realm of hell for a really long time now, you may be so out of alignment that you can no longer recognize what brings joy to your soul and what your purpose is. But taking action will shift that level of consciousness in more ways than you can imagine. And yes, it will most likely be a long and difficult journey, but you will be moving toward the state of mind of heaven and joy and beauty. And the alternative to not taking action is staying stuck and digging yourself deeper and deeper into that black hole. And if you continue to stagnate and obsess on being a victim, all you will be able to do is grasp at others and try to bring them down with you in a desperate attempt to not be alone for eternity. So again, I ask you, where do you want to exist? Do you want to continue living in hell and allowing your pain and your fear to control you? Or are you ready to move forward to the life you deserve? If you're interested in beginning your own hero's journey and are ready to take the steps forward to heal your unconscious mind, I invite you to visit my website, thundrasr.com. Please check the site out and see all the services I have to offer. I'm here to assist you however I can to make sure you have the tools that you need to get through whatever it is you're facing. Do not let yourself down. You are either growing or you are dying. Thanks for listening.